Yeah, so it's a confluence of a lot of things, right? It's having a founder, which I mean, great leaders are chameleons. They can take different roles and put different hats on when it's appropriate, right? And so when I see someone who has that level of flexibility in themselves, in terms of like they're being humble and knowing their place and not having an ego, but so because the reality of it is, none of us, we don't do this alone. You could be the most badass CEO in the world, but you need a team behind you. And so how is it that you acquire that team? You acquire that team not by, and so in my career, I had, I typically had partners that weren't able to play that role. They were a very, very sharp spear, but didn't have around them. So, my company NetBlue, led by my partner Ken, Ken was this like the savant entrepreneur that was incredibly intelligent, but was just completely caustic to people. Like he was almost autistic in the sense, or like like people really bothered him. And so I had an ability to say, okay, what he really meant to say was this. So I was like the translator, and I softened everything around him because he didn't see it. Why don't people work like I do, 80 hours a week? Well, Ken, because they're not paid like you are, or they have different ideas. They have families. So a lot of times my role was being that softener that softened the entrepreneur to where they could have teams around, people around them, to create a culture that people loved to work with you. It was fun. It was weird. You were laughing. You had a keg in the office. You were out late at night. Like you created a story for them that allowed them to want to work with you.